wanted to do this video to see, apparently some people, I came across a post where people actually were saying that Nylah definitely does look ambiguous, or at least they kept putting her in the light-skinned black woman category, which I always looked at her and always thought, she's not really light-skinned like Cardi B, for example. To me, it's the beginning of light skin. Anything darker is brown, in my perspective. But she is what some people like to call light skinned, as in lighter than the paper bag, technically. I think she's one of those who pass, but, from my perspective, I don't see that as meaning that you're light skinned. It means absolutely nothing. Just that you're lighter than a paper bag. When I was, before I worked at a fast food restaurant, I didn't even know that dark-skinned people were a lot darker than paper bags. From my perspective, I thought everyone was lighter, or at least around its color. But I mean, especially your hands. I always thought everyone was, to some extent, lighter. But anyway, some people were trying to say that she was a light-skinned black woman who benefited from colorism, colorist black men, or something like that. And, this, to me, ties into what I was saying in this video, basically. If you look at Nylah says, you can see she doesn't look particularly anything less black, or, anything more black, than Cardi, for that matter. People kept saying in my last video that Cardi B looked like a Latina. Well, most of her lookalikes aren't even Latina. They're mostly very popular black singers and rappers in the hip-hop and certain communities like that, okay? So it's like, to me, I don't get why people try to act like Cardi B was less black looking. She's just a black woman, just like, Nylah says. I'm even showing her photo of her mother. But I also wanted to point out, okay, so if people don't understand what not looking black means, I decided to put in Chantel Jeffries and also to put in Jessica Zor. The non-black lookalikes, like right here, well, besides Jessica Lucas, that's I believe, what's her name? Chantel Jeffries lookalikes, I believe. Sometimes Jessica Zor and Chantel's lookalikes kind of overlap. So I should have kind of marked it down, but anyway. The point is, that's her lookalikes, and obviously she doesn't look look black at all. Her lookalikes look white, Asian, some of them Hispanic, and so forth. You'll see with Cardi's lookalikes, they look black. They are black because Cardi is black. So I just found it really weird and silly that people were saying just because Cardi B speaks Spanish and Cardi B's dad is from some country, that means that Cardi B can't be black. Cardi B literally has more black lookalikes than I do. When I do lookalikes, I usually get like about 3 to 6 black women lookalikes, and then I get a certain percentage of white, Hispanic, and Asian. I get all of them usually, but the point is, you know, when you're moderately black looking, you know, you'll get a good amount, at least maybe like 4 or 5 at least, you know. But when you are staunchly black looking like Cardi B, you get black all the time. I think she only got one non-black lookalike. Everybody else was black or mixed. And this I'm including mixed people. But I did want to point out that with Nylah says, she did in particular get mostly actually mixed people. So I mean, like, people trying to be like she is some dark-skinned black woman when she literally is walking around with my complexion, basically, and, you know, a phenotype that could actually be considered ambiguous to some extent. Maybe not to the same extent as Chantal Jeffries, but still ambiguous. It's, to me, insane that she would try and act like Cardi B is somehow non-black or a woman of no color, when it's like, okay, if Cardi B is a woman of no color, then I'm pretty sure that Nylah says is basically a woman of no color. And it doesn't take rocket science to realize this. I mean, you could just look at Nylah says and say, of course, if Cardi is no color, then Nylah is too. How many shades darker is Nylah compared to Cardi? Maybe 2? I'm even doubting, is it even 2 shades darker than Cardi? She might very well just be 1 shade darker than Cardi at this point. And you mean to tell me that that's going to be a difference to make you a person of color and her not? Like, make it make sense. And also one other thing. I really think Nylah says really needs to stop repeating terminology that Cynthia G uses. I mean, be original. Seriously. Copycatting isn't cool, in my opinion. It just, to me, looks like, okay, if you really are just going to be a copycat version of Cynthia G, you might as well not watch the channel and see what does Cynthia G have to say. Not like I care what either of them have to say, but I'm just pointing this out. The whole woman of no color thing was just goodness. You know, that is a copycat term. Let Cynthia G have her words. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.